Hey guys, sup? Commence here. Bringing guys on a Cardfight Vanguard area deck profile. This time will be for my Deletor deck. So let's just go ahead and hop straight into it. So for my starter, I'm running a Carla, Deletor, Igor. I know a lot of people run multiple copies of Zoogie. Normally I would see the point. It's just I prefer that extra draw, because that can get me into a U90 like given, and just in general I prefer its skill more. And I also am not able to use this. I don't have the space to run multiple copies of this, so I just figure, like, why, you know? Anyway, moving on for our trigger lineup. We have 4 crit, 8 stand, 4 heal, 4 copies of Biting the Leader Gerba. Put this unit on the top of your deck. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If your opponent's Vanguard is deleted, you may pay the cost, and if you do, shuffle your deck, countercharge 1, and your opponent chooses a card from his or her drop zone and banish deletes it, meaning binding it face down. So it's just a very good recycling critical trigger, and you actually can benefit from calling it, so that's very nice. We also have 4 copies of our friend Clamping Deletor Eddie. Auto, when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, if you have a Vanguard with Deletor in its card name, and your opponent has a deleted Vanguard, you automatically draw a card. So that's nice, just to get that kind of draw heavy build going. And I just like it in general. Next up, I'm running 4 copies of Rendering Demon FMAs. When this unit is retired from when this unit is retired from the rear guard circle, for the card effect or cost of your card, if your opponent has deleted Vanguard, look at the top card of your deck, call it to your guard, and it gets plus 5,000 power until the end of the battle, which is just very nice. It's an extra 10k to guard. And just in general, it's a very nice card since you end up retiring your own units, kind of like Shadow Paladin. But anyway, it's just nice. Moving on to our heal triggers, 4 copies Starvader Magonic stream, just because, you know, I just prefer to bind heals now, as opposed to these ones, which is like Soul Blast 1. But anyway, that's a great zero lineup of certain zero lineup. Moving on to grade 1s. Just bear with me for a bit, because this is kind of weird, alright? I'm running 16 grade 1s, and I know it's kind of a lot of grade 1s, actually, but just bear with me, you'll see. So I'm running 2 copies of Breaking Deleter Guitario. It's just a 10k attacker for when you have a Vanguard Deleter in its card name. It's just nice. I guess this guy's more so your ideal eye target, and then a decent attacking target as well. If you're gonna rush him early game like they like to do, or at least in my experience, it's just nice. I'm also running 2 copies of my personal tech for the deck, Elfate Deleter Doran. So auto in the rear guard circle position, enter your soul and choose a card from your hand and discard it. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted Vanguard with Deleter in its card name. You may pay a cost, and if you do, draw 2 cards, and your opponent chooses a card from his or her drop zone and banish deletes it. It's just helping with the anti-Thunder Strike kind of thing that we got, theme that we have going on here. And also, I think dumping 1 card from your hand to draw 2 is relatively nice, and just the fact that this is going to be behind the Vanguard for a nifty 7k boost is amazing. So there's that. Moving on, I'm running 8 Stride Fodders, 4 of each, for the Destiny Dealer, which is purely for the backup ride target slash the booster call to attack, just whatever. Because we of course can't use it for its Messiah skill. And 4 copies of the Deleter specific Stride Fodder, which is of course the higher Deleter follower. Continuous from the hand, if you have a Vanguard Deleter in its card name while you are paying the cost for a strategy unit with Deleter in its card name, you may discard this card as a grade 3 card. And auto counterblast 1. When this card is discarded from your hand for the cost of Stride, if you have a Vanguard Deleter in its card name, original card name, you may pay cost, and if you superior call this unit to the rear guard circle. So it's just really nice. The fact that it gets you a free unit basically, for just a single kind of blast, and it's either pitch fodder for that turn or the next turn, or you can just boost an attack with it, or unit, depending on how low your opponent's numbers are. Attack with it itself, so that's pretty good. Moving on, I'm also running 4 copies of Remove Deleter Igarga. I think everybody knows that this is just straight up the best perfect card for the clan. Um, so I'm not going to bother reading its Sentinel skill or its auto skill, but I am going to read its third skill, auto drop. So I'm blind this card face down, vanish, delete it. When your opponent's Vanguard is deleted, you may pay the cost, and if you do, choose one of your units with Deletor in its card name, and it gets plus 4,000 power until the end of the turn. And that can be any unit. It can be the Vanguard, it can be one of the rear guards, the boosters, anything really. So that's just very nice for an option to have. So that's it for the grade 1s. Moving on to the grade 2s, I'm running 10 of them. I'm running 2 copies of Clipping Deletor Evo. You don't really want to go into this at all for your eye target. You want to just save it for the rear guard circle. Auto Cannon Blast 2 in this unit is placed on the rear guard circle. If your opponent's Vanguard is deleted, you may pay a cost, and if you do, shoot your deck for up to 1 card Deletor in its card name, not named this card. Call it to the rear guard circle and shuffle your deck. So it's just building up the board presence, which is nice. And just in general, it's very, very good because you can even use this with Divin if you want. I mean, because it just says search your deck for up to 1 card Deletor in its card name. It's not grade specific, so there's that. Moving on, we also have 2 copies of the 10k vanilla Bloating Deletor Gurio, just because 10k bases, and this is obviously going to be, of course, your ideal eye target. And moving on, we have 3 copies of Forbidden Deletor Zakured, I believe that's how you say it. Activate in the rear guard circle once a turn. Count blast one Deletor and its name card. If your opponent has a deleted Vanguard, until end of turn, this unit gets plus 2,000 power and auto on the rear guard circle. And this unit's attack hits a Vanguard. If your opponent has a grade 3 Vanguard, your opponent cannot stride during the next ride phase, which is nice. It's just kind of an FU to anyone who likes striding, which is, well, anybody and everybody, basically. So there's that, and I just really like the card in general. And finally, MVP of the deck, 3 copies of the Lie Down Deletor given. So auto on the rear guard circle, count blast 1 Deletor, and retire this unit, and choose 4 of your other units. Choose 4 of your other rear guards with Deletor in its card name and retire them. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked the Vanguard. If you have a grade 3 Deletor, if you have a grade 3 Vanguard gray in its card name, you may pay a cost, and if you do, stand all your Vanguards. So basically, you retire this card. Well, I mean, actually, that's not even accurate. You just retire your entire field for 2 attacks at the Vanguard. The problem is it has to be a grade 3 gray. It can't be a grade 3 or greater. So this doesn't work with Stride. It's only for the grade 3 Vanguard, and you're obviously only going to really go into this once. I was thinking of cutting this guy down to 2 to put this guy back up to 3. But honestly, I do want to see him because he's a good combo piece, and it's just very good if I can't stride. So there's that. Anyways, moving on. That's it for the grade 2. Moving on to the grade 3s. I'm running 7. I'm running 3 copies of Docking Deletor Greyon. Activate the right circle, canvas 2 Deletors cards and same cards, and choose one of your real cards with Deletor in its card name and retire it. Delete all of your opponent's Vanguards, and your opponent chooses a card from his or her drop zone and banish deletes it. And auto, when this unit is placed in the Vanguard circle, your opponent chooses 2 cards from his or her drop zone and banish deletes them. So that's just for a counter blast, for a double counter blast and popping rear guard, which really with this deck isn't even that big of a consequence. You're basically getting to banish delete 3 cards and delete the Vanguard, which is nice because that sets up all your plays. And just in general, it's a pretty good card. Moving on, we have 4 copies of Dark Jet Deletor Grand. So activate in the Grand Circle, counter blast 1 Deletor in its card name and its name card, and choose 2 of your rear guards with Deletor in their card name and retire them. Delete all your opponent's Vanguards. So the difference is this one counterblasts 2 and retires 1. This one counterblasts 1 and retires 2. That's really the only difference. And this one's the one with the stride skill. So I don't know that circle in your G unit with Deletor in its original card named Stride. Reveal the top part of your deck. If that card is a card with Deletor in its card name, call it your rear guard. And if it is not, put it into your drop zone. Choose one of your units and it gains plus 2,000 power until end of turn. And your opponent chooses 2 cards from his or her drop zone and binds them face up. Face down. So it's just very good for those anti-Thunderstrike builds, and just in general, it's just a very good card, and I honestly want to see one of the best grade 3s that all of Link Joker has. Not the best, but one of the best, for sure. So is that. That's it for the grade 3s. Moving to the Stride lineup, slash grade 4 lineup. I'm running 3 copies of the original Deletor Gorg. So, activate on the Vanguard circle once you turn. Well, first off, it's try text, but again, I've gotten past reading those. Activate on the Vanguard circle once you turn, Generation Break 2. And of course, it goes on to explain how that works. Count plus 1 and choose one of your real cards to delete its card name and retire it. If you have a heart card deleter its card name, delete all your opponent's Vanguards. Choose up to one of your rear guard. Choose up to one rear guard in your opponent's back row. Lock it. Your opponent chooses a card from his or her drop zone and banish deletes it. Then, if the number of cards in your opponent's damage zone is 4 or more, the number of face-down cards in your opponent's mind zone is 13 or more, you automatically win the game. So it's just an instant win condition. It's not really going to happen that often, but that's why we're running so many cards that bind slash banish delete. That way you can get it if we really need to cheese the victory. And just in general, it's a good card. Nonetheless, we're only playing 3 of it. Moving on, we're playing 4 copies of Nebula Dragon Big Crunch Dragon. So first off, it's Stride text and activate in the Vanguard circle once a turn. Count plus 1 and choose a face down card named this card from your G zone and turn face up, persona flip it. And if the number of face up cards in your G zone is 2 or more, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, lock all your opponent's rear guards in the same column as that unit, and those cards cannot be unlocked during his or her next standby phase until his or next in phase. So that's basically a column Omega lock, which is very, very, very nice. It's just good for if you really just want to deny something like an Elicity's column or something like that you see getting ready to go off, and it's good. I'm sorry. Moving on, we have 4 copies of Deliberate Deleter Ahodan. This guy's MVP. Honestly, activate the Vanguard circle once a turn. Choose a face down card from your G zone with the same name as this card and turn it face up. And choose one of your rear guards with the leader and its card name and retire it. If you're a hard card with the leader and its card name, delete all your opponent's Vanguards and all the units in your front row. Get plus 1,000 power until end of turn for each face up card in your G zone with this card's name. For each copy of this card until end of turn, which is amazing. So that's up to 6,000 power to the front row, which of course is 10,000 to guard per, which is just amazing. And of course, you gotta keep in mind there's like there's a 2K bonus and there's a 7K bonus, 5K bonus, making a 7K bonus. On top of this, making it a 9K bonus if you play your cards right. That's insane. I mean, that's actually insane. So, wow. It's just amazing powered, and it's just amazing overall as a card. And finally, of course, you're playing 1 copy of Zero Dragon Destroy Star Stark because it's the Stark. Moving on to the G Guardians. That's it for the Stride units. Moving on to the G units slash G Guardians. We're going to be playing 2 copies of each of the good ones. 2 Genesis Beast Destiny Guardian for that huge shield. And 2 copies of Lucas Carino for that locking ability. Anyway, with that, that's going to go ahead and conclude this deck file. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been your host, Cardmaster Phoenix, signing out. See you guys next time. Have a good one.